It always begins.
It has to begin. It has to begin naturally, you know.
Podcast. Welcome to the Gypsy Squared podcast, featuring Companion Cube from Portal and Portal 2.
And nuts.
And nuts. The Companion Cube's nuts.
No, these are my
Squared
nuts.
podcast featuring myself, and myself. Also, Dead Half in the background, aka Best Wife.
Hello.
We're all just clones.
Yep, we're all just clones of Jake.
And cats.
Welcome to Jake Squared.
If you wanted to see what Jake looks like when he was 19, here you go.
I gained a soul somehow.
It's
I am what
from,
Frosty could look like when he's
mighty quest hunting.
So welcome to the Impulse Squared podcast. This week, I got a couple of people with me, the usuals, I call them.
Yes.
We have Bored to Entertain, aka Big Frosty, and then we also have Gypsy, aka QA Cat. Absolutely wonderful people. I've spent more time with them lately. Just talking with them.
Playing
playing Phasmophobia, shooting the shit. Just having a good time, and of course, it's been.
Did you murder me at all, by the way? Last time we played,
when we recorded?
Yeah, no, when we played Phasmophobia last.
No.
Okay, So you remember how I had those tarot cards, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna try to kill you, but I didn't know how to fucking use them. So I was like, yeah. Then I was like, roulette's better, and then I murked myself with it on accident.
He killed himself one of the games.
Gypsy saw me play tarot card roulette, and I drew the Hanged Man and got killed right away. So
wait,
right on.
Is that like an insta kill or?
It's just an insta kill. It's just you're dead. Nothing you can do.
That sucks.
Great. Just watched on his screen as the hands wrapped around him.
I was just like, well, fuck, that's what I get.
Later on, he was like, I'm going to try and force a hunt. Oh, he forced a hunt. And I watched him die. And he was in the other room, and somehow his body ended up in the living room. So how did my body get here?
Was that the same game where my
how you doing, Sauce? What's up, bro? Welcome to the podcast. We're going to be talking about philosophy and shit today. We're going to be talking about deep stuff.
Everything was set, just the execution.
And Jake is lagging like crazy.
But so fucking good.
Welcome. Welcome to the first time being in the podcast.
Is it a robot-y or is it on my side?
Oh, yeah, he's going robot.
Okay.
Why are you fucking kidding me? I reset my shit before the fucking podcast this time. You want to do things responsible. Shit, not being.
This is Discord.
Punch it.
Discord. Calm down.
No, I'm doing this again. I don't give a fuck.
The stream is laggy, by the way.
Yeah, no shit.
Chat update.
Punch it.
Fight me.
So what I was.
Are you satisfied?
So you're not gonna punch it?
Actually, I have a Baymax up there. Maybe next time I'll bring him down.
Come on. Are you fucking kidding me? There we go. My God.
Maybe
Jake turned his auto tune on.
Every stream, I'll just start bringing in a new geeky plushie.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, now we're working. What is my stream at?
No, you're
Come on, go up.
Turn off the auto tune, Jake.
No. Enough jokes. I'm actually upset by this.
No, I'm telling you that on Discord you are still robot-y.
Yeah, I'm telling Frosty to shut the fuck up.
I mean, you sound good. So, like,
Frosty.
I mean, not good, but, like, you sound cool.
Yeah, my upload is shit right now. What in the...
It's okay.
It's not okay.
Jake, it's okay, man.
It's been 2 times now where I have I'm expressing anger, and every time I reset my shit, both of y'all freeze. It's been 2 times now where I look at Gypsy and I see Gypsy's mad face frozen and suspended in time, and I'm just like, oh boy.
All right, are we back? I think we're back.
Yes. Okay. Thank fuck. Finally.
You're sounding beautiful, man.
Thank you. Every fucking time, I swear. Welcome to the Impulse Squared podcast. I am your host, Noshami of Impulse Squared. This is now Noshami Squared, where Noshami goes ahead and Noshami robots himself because Noshami is a robot. Featuring 2 non-robots with me. Yeah, I
didn't catch my
I'm a
burp.
sentient organic.
Yeah, just carbon-based life forms with me. Gypsy and Jaden, go
I'm
ahead
a
and
water
introduce
and
yourself.
nuts. I'm Frosty, aka Bored to Entertain, aka Jaden. I'm the ginger guy that doesn't steal souls because I suck. Until I become my better self,
Oh,
Jake.
it's in the side.
Go check him out at twitch.tv/bored to entertain. That's BORED to entertain, all one word. Also type the same thing on
Yes.
YouTube. This man is probably the most underrated
Not like
content creator
skateboard.
of our day and age.
Like, yeah, I'm bored.
Yeah, fucking good joke, good bit. You've never done that before.
I haven't done that before. Shut up. Get out of here. I just conveniently had it down there.
Down below, introduce yourself. What are you about?
I'm Gypsy. I am the Impulse Squared QA cat. I make things go smoothly, and when they don't, I yell at Jake to make them work.
It's true.
Also, all
Yelling at
around
Jake is fun.
cat fanatic, lover of many a game, and all around geeky girl.
Woo! Go Gypsy, aka QA cat.
I make this thing look good.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy Gypsy's on QA cat. I don't think I could handle anyone else yelling at me to make things better. And if anyone else tried, like a Phil tried to be like, shut up!
Fix it right now.
Fix it myself. And Gypsy's like, hey, fix it, Jake. And I'm just like, okay.
Oh, and Resident Uwu girl.
Uwu.
Jake hates it.
I'm fine with it now. I don't give a shit.
Oh, we've gotten used to it.
Jaden's fine with it.
spoke.
Jaden hates the Uwu. Hey, Jaden, guess what? Uwu.
No.
Uwu, Jaden.
Ooh, Frosty.
Uwu,
It's not happening. My fucking hat's off now.
It's the Best with Jaden podcast.
Fucking hat, bro.
Hats off to you, sir.
That's all the content we have to offer. We're gonna go ahead and sign off now. Thank y'all so much for joining up with the Impulse
I don't know
Squad.
why this is my thing. I'm just peace, love, happiness.
Right.
Whatever gesture comes natural.
Right
For me,
on.
it's
So
Don't look at me weird. It's not like I don't do that every 20 seconds.
For me, it's basic metal shit. Anyway, we're discussing things a little differently on this podcast. This time. Podcast number 11, by the way.
Woo!
11. 1 and 1 equals 11.
1 and 1 does not equal 11, but good effort. After next week's podcast, we'll have been doing it for 3 months. So fuck yeah, milestones. I'm really happy about that. The Impulse Squared podcast is the only Impulse Squared project that has been started
today has
and
been
has
pretty
been
decent, been pretty chill. Got a clip uploaded
words,
and all
whatever. This week, I actually went ahead and I took
I'll talk in a
Gypsy's
second. Hold on.
recommendation. We're going to touch a little bit on philosophy, and based on that, I was able to construct a list of discussion points to where no one is going to be shut out of a conversation topic.
Philosophy, yo.
Yep. We're going to talk a little bit on philosophy, which is, we're going to talk about life, death, time, the universe in totality, meditation, going beyond thought, and more. So we're going to get to some in-depth conversations here. Very briefly, Gypsy and I touched on it, and then Jade and I, at some point late in the evening, I want to say about a couple weeks back, we had talked about the universe and all that. We talked for at least an hour. Satan hopped up. I got my cat out, but real quick.
Oh no!
It's happening again.
Auto tune has been activated.
I don't know what my hair is doing again. No, it just wants to do its thing.
I'm gonna murder someone.
Jake, I think it's time for you to talk to your provider.
I think it better.
No, it's time I talk to whoever fucking has like 42,000 different fucking tabs open for 1,000 different shits.
Do you have 40,000 different Google tabs open?
Not me.
Imagine. You're like, oh shit, I forgot. Oh wait, I actually have tabs open. What the fuck?
Okay, we should be good now.
I have 1 million tabs open, but it shouldn't affect you.
Yo, Jonathan, you're a fucking
so we're
cutie,
talk
bro.
about philosophy
I love you.
bit.
Mwah. I love you, Jonathan. Next time you come back out here, I'm gonna give you a kiss.
Ah, Jaden's mute. He's lost
I'm
his
sorry,
voice.
I had to. I got a sub from my buddy, so I was like, hey,
Yay.
I love you, bro.
I love you, bro. Mwah. Give you
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of
That's
my
a little,
homies. He's out in Hawaii right now for the Marines, and I'm like spreading the love to my boy.
Big shout out to him. Big shout out to him. Y'all make sure to
Yeah.
donate to military related causes, support our veterans. So now we're going to talk philosophy a little bit. We're going to talk about games that inspired thought or taught us deep lessons in life that we carry to this day. Or at the very least, that
Jonathan,
taught
you
us a
gifted
little bit of something about ourselves or about life in general.
So good job. You did it.
And a kind of a reverse on that, we're going to talk about games we played today that help keep our minds sharp. You know, things like our reflexes or our ability to solve puzzles, problem solve, etc. We're going to do a little bit of a self-analysis and then talk about the types of thinkings our brains do from our point of views, or the experiences we might have gone through that might steer us toward our favorite game genres or titles or franchises. And as a bit of a social experiment, we're going to then move on to open discussion topic. We're going to talk on something very basic, which is controllers versus keyboards. So the way we interact with our games with the currently available cheaper side technology in this day and age. It's going to be a little showdown. We're going to weigh the pros and cons of each, as obvious as they may seem. We might happen upon a perspective that may not be or may not have been made its way into the public discourse.
We'll win.
Right? And if the above experiment goes well, we're going to talk about the World Health Organization listing gaming disorder in its 11th
Nice.
11th revision of its international statistical classification of diseases, and we're going to get our thoughts on that. Then I wrote some nonsense, which we'll get into later, and then the end of podcast question, which I will keep a surprise until the end. Y'all at home, let us know your thoughts, all that good stuff. Give us perspective, maybe something we won't be saying here tonight. So without further ado, philosophy, life, death, matters of the universe, metaphysics, all that good stuff. Talking about totality, the functions of the universe, and our experiences. I can go ahead and get us started off. Don't let me go on too long because I won't stop. Like Jaden's heard me talk about this stuff before.
Dude, we both can't stop, man. Gypsy, you're gonna have to stop us.
It's insane.
Maybe.
I'll babysit you.
Oh,
Gypsy, be our moderator. So I believe the universe was not created; it was always here. But it was always here courtesy of Buddha, who decided to dip a sword into the ocean, and when he pulled it out, the droplets of water became galaxies in the sky. And then Marilyn Monroe actually came around and went ahead and planted little bits of seeds everywhere, and that is life today. So that is my perspective of the universe.
Modern day Adam and Eve. Actually, not really.
Excuse me. What?
I said I feel like this is a reference that I should get. This
is not a reference. I'm just completely making it up as I go along.
Nice.
No, I've been listening to God, who is that author? John Butler, lately, and he is somebody who I regard as being very wise in worldly matters. He talked in an interview I had watched. It was at least an hour long, must have been at least 2 hours long. It was an interview about just a basic summation of his life experiences, the major points where he had learned his most valuable lessons. And he's, I think, at least 85 years old, 90 years old. He looks like a wise old man you would see smoking a pipe on top of a mountain or something, and he has this most wonderful, soothing voice, just one of the best voices I ever heard. And he talked a lot about life, and what he wanted to emphasize, what he wanted to sort of passed along in the interview was that if you want to make life whole, you must be whole yourself in a sense of having a desire to fulfill the desires that you have in life, not of otherworldly matters, but of developing yourself as a person, relating to how you treat others and how you would like for others to treat yourself. So I thought it was a very positive message. That's why my message on Discord lately, the subtext to my username was to make whole, be whole. So I had that quote up for about a week, and of course I would like to credit that to John Butler. But once again, I think it's very wise. If you haven't listened to an interview from him, I would highly recommend that. He's also written a number of books on philosophy. And for those who are religiously inclined, he is Catholic. He talks about the universe and believes that the universe and God are synonyms for one another. But when he talks about the universe or God, he tries to do so in a way to where it's irrespective of his faith. just to sort of bridge the gap between the two, so that at least from a moral standpoint, there could be a commonality between people regardless of faith or lack thereof, which I thought was pretty awesome. Stream is. I'm reading that it's recovering. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm reading that it's recovering. I don't think there's any fixing that. At least, so long as we're good on Jaden's end, we're okay. We have salvageable footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo.
Any thoughts before anybody have anything to contribute?
This is okay. This is just some inner thoughts, but like, and kind of meme-ish, I guess. Like just brain hole being weird. When you said like to make a hole be whole, I was thinking like of a hole, you know, like an actual like digging a hole.
No, just to like, make whole, not make a hole.
Make whole, be whole. You be the whole. And I like my brain was just trying not to like laugh, and I was just sitting here like,
world good.
I don't know. It was just something stupid.
We're not gonna do that.
Stop laughing at me.
We're not gonna do that to him. No.
Not today.
I liked the prospect of God or any deity being synonymous with the universe, because it's similar to kind of like my philosophy. Like I'm not a religious person, but I do hold beliefs. I am not tied to the idea of any one specific deity, because I think that kind of puts things in a box, and everything is so vast and unknown that we're limiting ourselves and others by trying to say it's one thing and one thing only. Because in my belief, it could actually be all of them. Yep. Because if you look at religion and the various religions, while there are varying aspects and beliefs in the way their scriptures read or their philosophies, it all ties down to a core. And I think that we were, even down to the Christian basis of we were created with a free will. Mm-hmm. We were created with a creative will. And that it could be all of those things, because they could have given us that mind to form unique beliefs that still all tie into a very basic idea of humanity and
I like that.
Passion.
I like that.
And, you know, do as you will, that kind of thing. It's like, whether you're looking at, you know, the theories of Jesus, or you're looking at the beliefs of Wicca, or, you know, any other variation, you know, Buddhism, anything, there's always a core of do good and be good.
Yes.
Above anything else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And something I want to touch on, something you said, two things, is number one, I love the term creative will. I haven't heard that often. Whenever I hear it, it sparks the mind. You know, I got like 40 trains of thought on that. It's pretty awesome that you would use that term. I'm just in love with it because it sounds wholesome at its base, which is nice. And compassion, and you had mentioned compassion, which is good to have, but it's also potentially dangerous. Yeah. So people need to be careful when it comes to things like compassion and empathy. There are people who are compassionate and empathetic who are motivated by those things, but still behave or act in a way that is counterintuitive to those motives. For example, to put more of an animalistic nature to it, you know, a black bear or a grizzly bear, for example, a grizzly bear mother, for example, has plenty of love and compassion and empathy for her children, but is still capable of rendering insane volumes of destruction on an environment or on another living creature, even other grizzly bears, simply out of that love. So when it comes to compassion and empathy, one should be careful. Those are not. I want it on the record that I believe that those are not telltale of a moral virtue. That it really does come down to behavior and how you treat others, in terms of how well you support them or how you go about helping people. It should not involve destruction in any way. It should just completely be creative in the sense that you are taking what is chaotic and making something orderly of it. And I think that's something that's inherent to the human condition, are the at least from a conceptual basis, order and chaos. Chaos are things that we as human beings have, for the most part, a natural tendency to want to make order of. I think that's pretty awesome, and something that to make whole be whole, it ties back into that, is you should make order of yourself before you try to make order of your environment or of your community.
Right.
I think that is one of the first steps someone should take before acting on their compassion and empathy. I thought we would touch a little bit more on the matters of the universe and all that, like the existence of things, which is fun. But this is perfectly fine too. I'm super happy to talk about this too. Let's just go full circle. Jaden, any thoughts so far?
Yeah. So with one thing that I've noticed, like with a lot of people just in general, is that this is gonna be a lot of people don't follow the basic number one rule we all learn when we're growing up as kids, and that would be known as the golden rule, where you got to treat others the way you want to be treated. And for me, at least, exactly. I try my best to to follow that, because like I like to put myself into like other people's shoes and stuff, and I noticed that like in this world, a lot of people just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And they're just like, okay, I'm going to do this because this, and this. And they don't look at the consequences that they may or may not put on other people and stuff. And it's like, I mean, I guess like it can be hard to, with certain like circumstances to look at every single like side of like the picture and all that. And like actually like consider every variable that's happening in like a decision, for example. But
that's so hard to do. That's so hard.
Yeah, right. But it's like, I think like one thing that this world kind of needs is for people to like think about the people that are around them more often, and like try to actually consider what other people are thinking, or like consider like what they might be going through or something like that, or just like how what you're doing is affecting someone else, or on a greater scheme, many other people, or like just any living being around you, or something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know. I wish people would just like, treat people how you would want to be treated yourself, and that's like one of the biggest things that I try to go by in my like daily life somewhat. I mean, it's not that difficult since I'm in the house all the time and just playing video games with the boys.
I don't even live with some people, so it's easy for me.
Yeah, but like I try, like for example, when I go like out to do something, I a lot of the times my brain will be like, I need to try my best to not like get in the way of other people type stuff, even though like I feel like I shouldn't care super much about that and overthink about it, but like I do my best to like not be a burden to other people on accident, if that makes sense.
That's a very careful balancing act that everyone should take. Is you don't want to burden other people, right. but you also want what? I completely lost that train of thought.
Nice.
Completely lost it, because like I was trying to speak on that, and at the same time keep what Gypsy had said in mind, because something else I wanted to address was her mention of biblical scriptures, or the scriptures of any textbook of any faith, really.
Religious scriptures, yeah.
Oh yeah, just religious scriptures of any nature. Is that for the most part, the stories told in scriptures do carry valuable lessons with them. Treat others kindly. You try to keep things civil, be respectful whenever possible. All that good stuff. Don't go killing people.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a total dick.
Life lesson.
That is a two-way road. Don't be a dick so long as people are not a dick unto you. If they are a dick unto you, absolutely be a dick back.
Just don't be a dick first.
Stand up for yourself. That's part of treating yourself not kindly. Make whole, be whole.
Become
be whole to make whole. Become the whole.
Yeah.
No.
I'm too innocent to become a
Gypsy's
hole.
just like, nope, that's where I draw the line.
This whole other video, whole other content.
That's a whole nother video I can't upload to YouTube. Maybe a different site.
Nice.
Become whole.
Yeah, because to make whole, become whole. Is that right?
You mess it up for me now. Now I can't hear the other way. Oh,
Well, what do you think my brain does, okay? This is like with everything. It's like I always ruin it for myself, but I'm always like, that's funny.
How do we think the universe functions? How do we think it began? Does it begin? What is time?
I always base it off of energy. Like I've always flip-flopped, honestly.
Energy in what sense? Like if I hit the table, it's kinetic energy in that sense, or energy as
it is like I firmly believe. So it all ties to a lot of my thoughts. I've always teetered back and forth between creation and existence, and the matter that energy is neither created nor destroyed; it exists. Versus an entity has sculpted this thing, because it's hard to have both, but I've always left my beliefs open to both. That I think everything is vast and grand, and there is a possibility that there is a grander cosmic being that has sway. I don't believe that they have as much control as some might give such an entity. I think that, but it's more of an abstract sort of thing.
Okay.
Because it all has to come from somewhere. That's true.
We're about to touch on metaphysics. I love this. Go on.
But it's
which I love. I love metaphysics.
Yeah. So it's like you try to think about it. It's like, okay, well, I think in a way, creation and the concept of a creative being kind of stumbles into the whole like chicken and egg theory. Like one must beget the other. There's no true way to say which is what. And there's so much that we don't know yet that we are discovering. We're still discovering galaxies and black holes and all sorts of things about our own universe.
I did want to touch on
black holes. Are cool.
And it's like
also scary.
It's so hard to draw a conclusion when there's so much we're still learning.
Oh yeah, black holes are the Pokeballs of the universe. I mean, they suck up everything.
Wasn't that like one of the nonsensical things that you wrote in one of the fucking
very first nonsensical thing I've ever written for the podcast?
So immediately, it's not
we're
like
gonna make it make sense.
It's similar. Back in middle school, I actually did a report based off of Stephen Hawking's wormhole theory.
Ooh.
And how, because you were saying, what is time? Well, wormhole deals in time.
Yep.
And it was just such a fascinating thing to learn. You come out, your time starts here, and within the wormhole, it's stretched, and it passes differently, and then out at the other side, and it's things like that where it's like, where do you explain these things? Like
it's the whole idea of taking a plane of space and then warping it so two ends are touching from opposite ends by folding that flat plane of space.
Can I say something really quick? So couple came into my chat and he said, y'all talking about holes, I'm an expert, because he's couple. I wish you were here like around like 5 minutes ago when we were talking about what the fuck? Jake said the
B-hole.
B-hole. Now tell me, what hole do you think we're talking about, Cup?
So I did verify black holes are the Pokeballs of the universe is the very first nonsensical thing I've written for this podcast.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I remembered that. How the fuck?
Memory 100, bro. Good job.
Yeah. So I've been watching a lot of videos lately on black holes, astrophysics, things like that. One of the things I came across was this idea that time and space sort of take on reverse functionality within a singularity. This idea, and of course I have a friend named Steven who I talk about this with on a regular basis. Not just black holes, but we talk metaphysics, the universe, creation, all that good stuff. And we sort of played with that idea a little bit, as well as and we sort of folded that with the idea with the theoretical concept of a white hole, which is essentially the opposite of a black hole in terms of its way of interacting with the universe. In that with a white hole, matter cannot pass into its event horizon, and instead of being infinitely dense, it would be infinitely vacuumless, essentially. And it would be spewing matter into the universe. And well, we came upon the conclusion that, essentially speaking, the universe itself, from the Big Bang onward, is functioning a lot like a white hole would.
Okay.
You okay, Jaden?
Yeah, my mom made food and she was like showing me that food was done.
Food here.
Yes.
So with the way time functions and all that, within a singularity, or maybe the reverse of a singularity, a conceptual white hole, i.e., the way the universe functions outside of black holes, and the universe possibly being born of that white hole, or us being within that white hole, having black holes within it, and maybe white holes within those black holes. It can get wild. It can get wild. So time itself, the way it interacts with the universe, the way it functions around matter, especially if it's so dense that a black hole is present or occupying that space, ergo warping time into a fold unto itself. The idea that the universe had a starting point is difficult for me to wrap my head around, because I feel I subscribe more to the idea that time is a dimension that affects space in the same way space affects time. It is not completely linear, that the linearness of time is finite, but that time itself is not the end all be all of universal events. So I subscribe more to the idea that the universe never really did have a start, as to where it all came from. Like, why would anything ever exist in the first place? Well, I toyed with this. When I had asked myself this question initially, I was a little confused, and I was like, well, what do I mean by why? What do I mean by how? So that put into my head this idea. I don't remember what it's called, but there's this hypothesis on language, where different words mean different things to different people, and the way that the hypothesis posits that someone's thinking, their mental faculties, growing up, are somewhat shaped by the language they learn when growing up. So I'm thinking, when we ask questions like, why would anything ever exist in the first place, are we asking the question as it's needed to be asked at its full scope, or is it an incomplete question, or is it completely inaccurate? Like, do we have this linguistic understanding of the universe universally, or when we ask why, is it a complete misdirection? Because perhaps we as people have not yet come across a language, or perhaps the language doesn't exist, to where we could ask why. So I took that hypothesis, applied it to myself, and I said, well, perhaps I'm not asking the right question. And I don't know what sort of questions to ask from that perspective. So I've been doing a lot of self-analysis since that sort of moment. It was about an hour or two of trying to figure out, okay, so what question do I need to figure out? Well, why implies purpose. Okay, so I said, okay, so maybe there isn't purpose. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's a complete waste of time to ask why. So ask how instead. Well, how implies functionality. Well, now you have functionality. So regardless of whether or not I figure out functionality, well, functionality only exists because there's purpose for that functionality. So is there a why? As we understand it, maybe, but is there purpose? more than likely. That's more or less sort of what I'm thinking. I'll have to pull up the conversation. Let me see about that real quick. That's not it. Jane, thoughts so far?
Yeah. So like one thing that I found really interesting, especially with like when we talked for like the few hours that we did, was like what you mentioned before, how you believe that the universe didn't just start and it just always was. And one thing I found really kind of like a moment, I don't know, a cool moment of like realization is like the whole idea of starting from like the Big Bang, where it like there's like a not really anything happening, and then everything just starts expanding infinitely, and then eventually you hit the thermodynamic equilibrium where everything is heat, the great heat death. And then when I knew about those concepts, but I always thought it was like start, Big Bang, everything else, and then heat death.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
To put it on simple terms, everything else, then heat death. But
Start
then
then it's
yeah, for real, yeah. And then the thing that you brought, like the idea that you brought to me that was really interesting is, what if like during that heat death it just reversed and then everything started coming back together?
Yes,
then,
the idea of a Kugelblitz, where you have so much energy instead of matter in a compact point, where you create a black hole of energy rather than matter.
and it's like
Kugelblitz. You get that with the heat death.
Right, and then it would technically be an infinite, like going back and forth between that heat death and a Big Bang, and then it wouldn't. Having that idea, it actually makes sense why things would always constantly be going instead of start, time, and then end. You know what I mean? And like one thing that it's just like an impossible thought is like if there was a start and there was nothing, how did something become of that nothingness? You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
like,
That's why I love playing with the idea of a sort of cyclical model of universal functionality. Is because once you have all that energy occupying all of the universe everywhere, well, you'll get the Kugelblitz, a black hole. So everything compacts. So you do get the heat death of the universe, but you also get what's called the big crunch, where everything compacts again. The way that interacts with time, because time would only occupy that space around the universal singularity, would fold in on itself and essentially reset. Except the way that things would expand again because of Hawking radiation, the universe would end up different. Now, the same universal laws apply. You still have gravity, weak, strong nuclear force, and time and all that stuff. But there may not be another Earth. There may not be another human. Or, given enough time, if it was linear as we conceive it, perhaps once again, somewhere between like 10 times e to the power of 42 trillion or something ridiculous like that, there'll be another Impulse Squared podcast with Jim 2.0 and Jake and Jaden 2.0 discussing, having this conversation yet again. Just like my chair is a different color, and that's the only difference ever in that incarnation of the universe.
But what if we are the 2.0?
Exactly my thought too. What if we are the 2.0? What if we're the 3.0? Well, time being nonlinear, it doesn't matter. We could be time a trillion or time number one. It's the exact same.
The only way it would matter is if we remembered it,
and we don't.
Which,
yeah, and that's like the thing.
It's sad, but it's.
I mean, then you get the experience again,
right?
Because time's non-linear. If we could remember it, we would be remembering it right now, but we can't. So enjoy it. This is it.
Yes, enjoy the experience. Experience things. Do stuff. I know that I'm the last person that should be saying that, since I literally dedicate my life to sitting at a desk. But experience. Do it. Yeah.
Joy you can find at a desk.
You're still here. This podcast.
Fuck yeah. But like,
awesome. Gypsy, thoughts so far?
I basically it all kind of ties into what I was saying is that everything is so there's so much we don't know that it's hard to really for me to form that belief and basis.
All this could totally be wrong, by the way. Everything I said could be completely off the mark.
And that's the glory of the thing is like we can theorize a lot, and a lot has been proven in theory over time, and some stuff has been dispelled. And we're still learning so very much. Like, we are just on the tip of scientific discovery on so many things.
Oh yeah, we think we're too different from the Greeks. Hell, no, we still got quantum mechanics to figure out.
So, like, whenever people ask me these questions, like, it's hard for me to even answer because my mind is often adjusting and changing and forming new beliefs or rearranging the ones I already have, because there's still a lot of theories.
Yeah. There's still a lot you're learning about, like what experts and other philosophers are sort of thinking or conceptualizing or discovering even, and then you yourself are experiencing the universe in real time.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can.
But you're living your life. You have all these experiences, and these experiences are shaping you as a like with the rest of us. We're just all being shaped by our experiences, and sometimes it's gradual. Sometimes that change is just boom overnight. You're done. You're changed.
It's like I can give one reason that I've always had it. Like I keep an example of like shifting in beliefs is death.
Yes.
There are some deaths that are sad and mourned, and it feels like there's something lingering. And then there are some, like, I'll get a little personal. I had a cat who is very, very dear to me. I've always said I love that creature more than anything living on this earth, even another human being.
Fair.
And
sorry.
Wow. I lost.
Like an asshole. I had to come out. I tried to stop it, Gypsy. I'm sorry.
Hey, at least it was a good burp, okay?
I tried.
Timing, Jake. Jesus.
I know.
Anyway,
I did the same thing at a funeral.
Really?
Apropos.
Nice.
I was talking and I was like, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
Sorry, it happens sometimes. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, just go on. I apologize.
It's your spirit speaking. I lost.
Take some of my soul. Yeah. I keep interrupting. I'm sorry. Go on. I'll shut my mouth.
It's okay.
I'll suck on some paper.
I lost this cat to cancer. It was very, very tough. Like, I think not even my stepfather did I mourn as much as this cat that I considered my familiar. But what was different about that loss was, even though I grieved because I didn't have him, I didn't grieve because I felt like he was still around. It was one of the few deaths I experienced where it felt okay. I didn't feel him around. When I picked up his ashes, there was emotion because it was confirmation that this loss was there. But it wasn't like other deaths where it felt like something was still lingering and unfulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's differences like that, it's hard to really form a solid thought of like, what do I think about the afterlife? What do I, we're talking creation, we also talk afterlife. Is there one? Like, I really haven't formed a complete decision because I also tie to the potential for reincarnation. And because tying back to just energy, that it comes, it goes, it could shape, it can change shape in a fashion. Even science, we're learning a lot about just the shape of energy and how it can be utilized. So I guess a little tangent, but
Sauce,
it's kind of like
you're talking about
creation, you also think
cube,
about the other side of things and how
it's a companion cube.
Each
it's like
death
the
can feel
thing from
so
Portal.
different,
It's
because
just
I know there have been deaths that were in my
thing.
life that were tragic and unexpected, and it felt different.
Does that answer your question?
Something lingered. Whereas
companion
aside
cube
from the
Portal.
morning that I didn't have this being with me, I didn't feel like he was around. I felt like his life had been lived to the fullest with as much love as he could. And the soul or the energy of him had no feeling or need for him to linger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's where I want to tie into what I said before about the concepts of order and chaos, which are almost universally applicable. Something that helped me with the loss. You know, I've mourned the passing of my grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
but never once shed a tear. I understood that, you know, he was gone. All that stuff. That's the funeral I belched at, by the way.
Nice.
Sorry, I don't have anything to belch for your expression in turn.
You let me down.
Wait, hold on.
There's a little one.
Hold on. I got something better.
But it was this idea of
Oh no, it's broken.
of order and disorder, which can be likened to order and chaos. Oh, that's awesome.
It's broken.
Sad.
I want to get one of those, but it's like the one where it's like nut.
Oh god.
I want to get one that just says "shut up."
If you
You gotta get like one that program.
on this stream, I will have you removed.
I will do it myself.
What how can you be against the nut button? That'd be so good.
By the way, Sauce, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying the show. But no, it was this idea of order and chaos where when we lose someone, either, you know, one of our fur babies or a parent, sibling, friend, someone we love, all that good stuff, is that I try to keep in mind now that when someone passes, it's quite literally a passing along, and they are still with us. It's just that the matter and energy that they were composed of in a way that we found familiar is simply ordered differently to necessitate, or rather as a necessity for something else to be created. Something else must be made disorderly first.
Yeah.
For example, in the 1980s, Mount St. Helens blew up. That could be said to be, well, I mean, it was chaotic, let's be real, but that can be likened to chaos, you know, with all the ashes and everything everywhere, all that death and destruction and fire, you know, burned a whole lot of things down. Well, from the ashes we got new plants, new trees, new life, new flora with which to feed the next generation of that survived the explosion. As part of a necessity of that continuation of life, the old life had to be made disorderly first.
Yeah.
So going back to, you know, feeling like your familiar is still around, well, from a scientific standpoint, they still are, just not in a way that, you know, is familiar to us, or structured in a way that is familiar to us. So that really helps a lot. It helps a lot with having that perspective. Can help someone deal with grieving for a loss a lot easier.
You really can.
Yeah. So and touching a little bit on the idea of an afterlife, I hope there is. I don't necessarily believe there is, but I do have an inkling of hope that there will be some medium with which I can use to have an awareness of what's happening in the universe. You know, I love life. I love living life. I love looking out the window and seeing a beautiful blue sky and, you know, leaves on the trees, all rustling in the wind, all that good stuff. But you know, I have this sort of almost permanent crisis of mortality, this existential dread that comes naturally with the human condition. And I think having that has helped me to appreciate life a lot more. I try to live more in the moment. Sometimes I may like internal panic, or I'll even develop some sort of anxiety attack or panic attack, because I'll just be sitting here thinking like, oh my God, one day all of this is going to be gone. I will be gone. That's it. It's no more. Just dark, abyss, emptiness. And then I'm just like, okay, just try to enjoy my game. Try to step outside, enjoy the smoke, have some fresh air, all the good stuff.
Enjoy a cat.
I love a kitty.
Hey, Mama.
Context.
You mentioned the
But I hope
like,
that there is an afterlife, or at least some medium with which I can use to at the very least keep an eye on things. I would love to continue to interact with this universe to be able to retain some sort of interactive or interactable subjectivity,
like continue existence
in at least some
somewhat.
fashion, because I know this frail form with which my mind occupies will one day expire, and that scares the shit out of me. I am frightened quite literally to death of it. It's not pleasant, and I think this is pretty normal for pretty much everyone.
Hey, baby.
I definitely can relate to that.
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Help.
Getting kind of and then moments like this remind me that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay.
Yes.
Star. This is his mother, by the way.
That's adorable little kitty.
This is Star. This was his mama.
But yeah, I do have this existential dread, and I carry it everywhere, and it sucks. But I try to live life as fully as I can, and with Impulse Squared, I try to behave in a way that would benefit others within their own subjective experiences, which is why I push for charities a lot. Do what I can for the betterment of others while I'm still around to do so, just in case there isn't something with which I can use in an afterlife, may or may not exist, that I can use to help people.
Yeah, let's light you up. Nope, that's not.
I mean,
it would be nice. It would be nice. I do hold out hope. As to any measure of faith for it, no. Belief, no. But just I hope for one. Anyway, I'll settle for anything.
I like what I really kind of said. Hi, can you? Boy, wouldn't I love to live like a cat. I was going to say, I like to imagine there is a potential for an afterlife, but that we're not locked into it. I like the prospect that if we have felt like our entity, our soul, whatever you want to call it, has fulfilled what it was meant to understand in these lives,
Right.
that it can retire and simply become part of the overall cosmos. Sorry.
Are you talking like some form of like collective consciousness?
No, like once our consciousness, I guess, collective. Please stop, Star.
The differential.
Oh shit!
Here, hold on.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. Okay. It's better, I think.
Is reading us better?
No.
That was a good son of a bitch.
It was a great son of a bitch. It was amazing.
What I was gonna say earlier, though.
I wasn't done with my thought.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought. No, you
Just
go.
waiting for the stream to recover.
We're good, Gypsy. Go on.
Okay. So to wrap it all up, basically, once our consciousness, our energy, entity, soul, whatever, if it feels it has had, it's collected the knowledge or experience or what have you. If it feels like there's not a need to be redistributed into an entity, that we can just be dispersed amongst the cosmos and the collective energy and cease to take form.
Mm-hmm.
But the options of things like heaven or Valhalla or anything like that. Like
Valhalla
that as an option.
Are you kidding me? I would love to just drink and fuck and be called a warrior the rest of existence ever.
Right?
It would be awesome.
Or if we, still want to go at it, that there's a chance to be redistributed into an entity. That's kind of what I've gone with. It's like, I want both options. I want an afterlife where I can stay, or I can go. Even
a subjective afterlife would be. I'm saddled with what I'm saddled with. The universe behaves in a way that lets me know that that indicates to me that it is ultimately indifferent to my subjective whims. Unfortunately, but so it doesn't matter what I'll settle with. I'm saddled with what I'm saddled with. But I most optimally I would like a pocket, like my own dimensional pocket with which I can interact with based on my own experiences, like relive a part of my life or even live some sort of fictional life, or like a universal playground, if you will, of different experiences. I can just completely choose to experience sandbox style, like the universe, but sandbox mode instead of survival mode. That would be.
Well, we have enough creative mode or survival mode. We have enough.
Yeah. Jaden, any thoughts?
Yeah. So
Close us off. We do need to go into the other topics. It's been
I was
50
gonna
minutes.
say, well, there's a short one that I'm gonna do first, and then a kind of a longer thing or whatever that I was thinking about. But like, first of all, let's say, okay, if there is not an afterlife and this is it, right? If this is it, then we might as well try to make at least our surroundings better in some way for what is to come in the future. Let's say if there is like some sort of reincarnation in the future, hopefully what we do now can affect the ones that are around us currently, the people that are going to be existing later in the future, and or if there is reincarnation, we can make it a better place for us to exist in later as well. And on top of that, one thing that I really got into deep thought about as of recently is like our bodies are like, our physical bodies are always changing. Our cells are always I mean, there are some cells that like are permanent and whatever, but there are a lot of most of the cells in our bodies are replaced. And
Well,
it's
I wouldn't
like
say cells, but I would say
or like molecules.
or
Yeah.
like atoms or whatnot. Like
like our molecules
photons,
get
for
they change and get replaced over time. And it's like if you look at yourself so many years in the past or something, for example, like 10 years in the past, it's like
the general essential.
You're lagging out, bro. It's like hitting one bar mode right now.
Stream
It's not
doesn't
even
like
robot.
us being existential, yo.
Yeah, apparently.
It's not agreeing with us going off, the beaten path of geekery, apparently. He looks so angry.
Frozen angry face. Jake, thumbs up if you want me to continue. Thumbs down if you want me to wait for a second. Hold it there.
I feel like we're dealing with angry Wade. We're gonna hear screaming in a second.
Wow. Keep your hand up. You're still frozen. Thumbs. Okay. All right. Okay. I see it. Okay. So he looks like he's in rage mode. Yes, he is in rage mode. But on top, like if you look back like 10 years ago, you can say like mentally, yes, like for me, I feel like I am pretty much a complete different person than I was in the past. But like also like physically, I feel, and I mean I guess I keep the same face structure, and like my body is similar, or like birthmarks will always be there on your body and shit and all that. Like that will never change, but physically there are aspects that do change. And it's like are you the same person that you were 10 years ago? And I honestly think, I mean, other than those molecules that stay for your entire life, I would say no.
Well, scientifically they say that the cells of your body change at least every 7 years.
That would be the atom. The atoms of your body are once every 7 years.
And it's
they
like
change,
completely different once every 7 years. That's what I was trying to say before, but when I roboted out.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like damn, I really like I'm a different person than I was before. And it's crazy that we can look at images of ourselves in the past and stuff. Not only just thinking about like what we looked like and stuff in the past, you can physically actually see that. And it's crazy to me that we're able to do that, because with the concept of the past and the future, unlike the present where you're living in that moment, you're seeing, you're feeling, all your senses are doing stuff in the moment and all that. When you're thinking about the past or thinking about the future, that's just an imaginative existence in your brain. It's just you like thinking of that happening. It's not actually real. It's just your brain picturing that or like wording it out in your head. So it's like it's weird to think about the past or the future, and it sucks to dwell on it, because it's like if you're dwelling on something that you're only thinking about, you're dwelling on something that literally isn't real, or isn't real in that moment in time. So when I overthink about something in the future, I overthink about a lot of things more about the future than the past, personally. And whenever that happens, I like to think it's like that shit isn't even real. It hasn't happened. It's most likely not gonna happen, because whenever I overthink, I usually think of all like the worst things that can happen, and 9 times out of 10 it's some other complete outcome happens. So it's like, just think about the now. Think about what's happening now and what you can do to influence your life to be better in the future. Don't think about the future too much. Like, have hopes and dreams for the future.
Your hand looks super tiny up against your chest.
Do I have a small hand?
No.
My hands are like average size.
Okay, your hands are fine now.
Somebody else always
when you were holding it, I was just like...
Somebody else usually gets to do show and tell. Like, they wander off and go find something. This time I want to share. So speaking of, our bodies and cells change, I mean, me now.
Mm-hmm.
Baby.
Time
Baby you!
Ultimately, time being non-linear, and our atoms changing out every 7 years or so.
Can you see it? There we go.
Yes.
Like...
I wish I...
Isn't it crazy? Like, technically speaking, because time is non-linear and all the atoms of your body have changed out several times over since then, that form, that entity, if you will, no longer exists. That is so trippy to think about. I think about that all the time. It's nuts. Go on.
I was gonna say, there's something very healing about that. That is a phrase and a reminder that's given to a lot of people that experience certain kinds of trauma. That within a measure of time, the person you were then, or the cells and atoms you had then, won't be there.
I was just thinking that
be new and clean. Not clean, because trauma doesn't make you dirty, but the way they said it is, if they laid a hand on you then, within 7 years, those atoms won't be there. It'll be different.
It'll be essentially a completely different structure. Exactly. That person will no longer exist. You will be something else in that moment. Live for that moment. I was just thinking the exact same thing when Jaden was going on about the cycles of cells or whatever, when I was dealing with this shit ass connection.
Your stream doesn't like a saying. It gets angry because we're being existential and using our brains.
Right. Well, then let's go ahead and move on.
Oh, sorry. Up this way.
Yeah.
That flipped.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Discord be like that, man.
But we're lucky as fuck. We're lucky as fuck that things exist in the first place to exist, and that we were born in the era of time being linear, if it was linear, to where we have access to things like air conditioning, a medium with which to communicate with other people. And the fact that we all got to meet each other. I'm glad I met you guys, and most importantly, video games. I'm glad I got born into the era of video games where I can actually experience, at least vicariously through some virtual cyberspace, slaying a literal fucking dragon.
Yeah. I tried doing that on Elden Ring and got clapped.
People couldn't say that 500 years ago, but this day and age, I can say, well, technically, I've slain dragons. So that's pretty cool.
Jake, the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, we got Saw Step up in here.
Yep. Games... Right. So we all through movies, books, and games, we all learn things in life. Some of them life lessons, some of them practical skills. So how about we discuss, maybe list out some games that have taught us, lessons or morals that we carry on to this day, or throughout a majority of our lives before we discovered, you know what? Let's leave that behind. if we learned about that. Right. Jaden, why don't you start us off? You seem distracted. Gypsy?
I would... So I know I reference this game a lot, and that's because, one, it was so different from everything else, but also because it's really been one of the most mentally engaging games I often played, and that was Portal. And while it's a puzzle game, and it keeps my mind engaged and everything. The oddest take I took from it was that there's always an answer. It may not be the one you're expecting. You may not see it at first. You may have to give it several tries, but there's always an answer. There's always a resolution. You just have to find it.
I like that. We're getting deep on this podcast. I love it. I love it so much. The deepest episode to ever exist. Don't worry. Next episode, we'll be back with the chaos.
Hopefully, if you're watching this, you learn something new and it improves your psyche or something.
Yeah, hopefully you take something away from it,
Psyche's the word I was looking for earlier. Damn it.
Yeah. Look at me with the big words. Yeah. Fucking win for me.
It's 2 syllables. It's 2 syllables and 6 letters, dude.
Well, big word as in meaning lots of big things. Okay?
I didn't have to think about that to make sure it was 6 letters. Leave me alone.
Not actual big, but like it means big thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Complicated word.
Yeah.
There's always an answer. I love that, Gypsy. I love that.
My turn or Jake's turn?
I don't care.
Jaden.
Okay. Well, I can't see. Okay. Well, first of all, Guitar Hero taught me how to be a guitar legend, of course. So there's that. But legitimately, I've played a lot of games throughout my time of existing and stuff, and I would have to say, in my circumstances with the most impactful one, this is going to be kind of surprising, I guess, but Among Us, to be honest, because I have always been a horrible liar. I've been so bad at lying that I don't do it. And if I have to, like, the only time I'll lie is if I legitimately have to, and it's for the sake of somebody else or something instead of me. And even then I'm still bad at doing it. And it's like when it came down to that game where you're forced to like make up things and like another thing I'm really bad at is manipulating. I hate manipulating. Like I just can't do it. It just isn't a thing. At least for me. And with that game, you have to be fucking manipulative, okay? You have to be manipulative, you have to lie, and you have to do all this shit. And it's like, I feel like that playing that game for a certain amount of time for me opened it's not that I still am I can't lie. I can't manipulate people.
We're bad at it. Get good scrub.
But yeah, but shut up. But I feel like that increased that for me. Like I learned a lot from that, and
I look bigger.
I learned how to lie better, I guess. I don't know. But I guess Minecraft taught me how to be the creative mind that I am today. So that's a big one for me. Minecraft has always been a crazy thing in my life that taught me to open my brain hole a little bit wider and try things differently.
I can see it. I mean, you're dealing a lot of like psychology too from it,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It really teaches you who you know.
Right. And I feel like with games in general, usually story games never like taught me more than like things that I had to learn on my own, or taught like a lot of things that I learned early on from like movies and stuff, like when I was younger, when I actually had to learn some of like the themes of like certain things and all that. I usually got it from movies instead of games, and then I would see it in a game and then relate to it, but I feel like with gaming, a lot of the things that I really learned from was where I was free to do the things that I want and use my brain in its own way and grow from what I'm learning from my own like choices and stuff like that, other than like following a story and learning from someone else's decisions.
Right. Well, that's where you're living vicariously through someone. Like, for example, Majora's Mask teaches you a lesson about like having limited time and to use as much of that time as possible to accomplish as much as possible. Where ultimately the lesson is you get one shot, Go for it. There's no rewind. Except in the game there is, but it teaches you that there isn't.
Yeah.
We got to have you play it someday, but yeah.
It'll happen. I'm sure it will.
But I was just answering for Phil there because I feel like that's what Phil's answer would be. I feel like MMOs have taught me a bunch. I would normally go to competitive games and all that stuff, but I suppose MMOs have taught me the most valuable lesson I've learned. Not lesson per se, but the most rewarding habit to have.
Welcome back, Sauce.
That surrender is not an option.
What kind of drink did you get, homie?
Means to lose out on what you were after in the first place. Okay. That you will never obtain what you want through anything other than not giving up. Sure, find an alternative route if you can. That's perfectly fine. But if you're after something and you need people with you, then giving up is not good. And it teaches you some team leadership skills if you're like leading a group through a dungeon or a raid or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. Dig it. No, I can dig it. I get it. Totally will.
Excuse me.
You're just full of inappropriate sounds tonight.
It's the lung butter. Don't smoke, kids. Don't smoke.
Good.
Smoking is bad. And then you'll sound like Jake.
Then you'll sound like me. You'll end up coughing for like several weeks.
That one person who's like, yeah, I want to sound like Jake. Woo! Nah.
No one wants to sound like me.
Don't smoke.
Yeah, but it was don't give up, and I suppose I suppose MMOs have put that more into me than my parents could, I guess. But I'll go ahead and cite the competitive games they didn't actually teach me a life lesson, but they taught me that it's okay to stand up for myself when when I'm being attacked or something like that. It's just basically sort of conditioned me for being able to not be anyone's like punching bag or doormat or something like that. I can't quite explain how, but I feel like I was more or less conditioned. I wasn't taught that, but I was conditioned to accept that lesson when that lesson finally did come. I don't know where I got that lesson from.
I
you hear
have
that? Play
actually...
Call of Duty. Call people bad things. Nope, just kidding. Don't. Just don't.
Doing your mom. So one thing that I thought of generally with gaming, this is like a very
hold on, hold on, Jaden, what the fuck was that?
Doing your mom, doing your mom. Because like that's what every kid wants to do when you're playing Call of Duty. Everyone wants to fuck your mom type shit.
Gypsy,
bro.
Gypsy looks like she's about to wreck her shit, dude.
Jake, you talk about that. That's like you said that was one of the main insults, my man. Shut up. Don't make this a just me thing, okay? I brought it up, but it happens, okay?
Yeah, but at least I had context. Just over there like, telling your mom.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, because why would I give context? It's Call of Duty. There's no fucking context. You don't need context.
I was setting up for a bit. That was the context I went for a few podcasts going over. You're just over here being like, let me say the raunchiest shit I possibly could think of. I'm 12.
That was not the raunchiest shit I could say. But it was...
Okay,
general idea. General idea.
Come on. You're supposed to be better than this.
High five, Gypsy. Come on. No, don't leave me hanging. It's awkward now. What the fuck? You know what? I forced the high five. Whatever. But okay. And all actually, like, with all seriousness, okay. This was the biggest thing that I learned from gaming in general. This isn't from any specific game at all. It's just something that I learned over time. When you're passionate for something, when you really want something, all right, do not fucking give up on that shit. Try, fail, repeat that over and over again until you get so good at what you're trying to do that you're undefeated. All right, just keep doing something until you get what you want. If you truly want something, go out and get it. Don't fucking let anyone tell you what to do. You could take suggestions and shit, but don't let people who tell you you can't do it control what you're thinking, okay?
Exactly.
Because you can fucking do it, all right? As long as you put your fucking mind to it and you really know what you're trying to go after, and you're willing to try something and fail as many times as it takes to get to that point, you will fucking get it. So
unless you're a VTuber, then don't.
yeah. Okay, Jake, shut up. Just in general, just fucking
Kidding. I'm
keep
kidding.
try, fail,
to our
repeat
regularly
until you
scheduled
get what you
chaos.
want.
Hey, we're back to our cast sooner than I thought. Hell yeah. Woo! Well, Gypsy, as we know, we must first have chaos in order to create structure and order.
Yes.
We are building here.
Chaos good.
It can be. It can be.
Hello to our viewers.
Yeah.
Welcome to our
Sauced
normalcy.
up in my chat said, just like you and skateboarding, how many times have you failed till you got the trick down? So fucking many I can't count, okay? I'm still dog shit at skating, and I will continue until the day I die. Or well, until the day I can't skate anymore.
Just make sure you wear a helmet.
He'll be 75 years old going,
This is my helmet.
I'm still trying to learn this half.
That is not a helmet.
Hey, don't worry, I don't really... I did actually one time I did smack my head on the concrete, and that did not tickle. That did not feel good.
You're not gonna like it when your brains are spilling on the concrete next.
Yeah. I'm not doing like I'm not a vert skater yet, so that's good. Not gonna go on those big boy ramps. I'm still working on perfecting my ollie. Okay.
Continue to mother you, but wear your damn helmet.
Gypsy is the podcast mom.
Karma, thank you. You're awesome.
Drink water. Wear your helmet.
I'm getting fucking Dr. Pepper. Games we played today that help keep our minds
already
sharp.
step ahead. Wait. What was it?
Games that we play today that help keep our minds sharp.
You want to go or you want me to go?
I would.
Okay. See, for me, a game that I play today that keeps my brain hole sharp, at least I think it does, that I've been playing ever since I was a wee old lad, around like 6 years old, is Guitar Hero. To this day, I will play that game. That quite literally, I will play that game until I die. And the reason I would say it makes my brain more sharp is that the fact that there's like a bunch of colors coming towards you, and in the hand-eye coordination bit kind of thing happens. I feel like that keeps my brain going. You know, keeps me. It helps with focusing. That's like one of the things that I learned how to hyper focus the most with is with Guitar Hero. Like when I get in the zone of that, I'm able to like I'll stare at the screen and I won't notice the things that are happening around me, and I can hold a complete conversation all at the same time. And it's like, without that game, I feel like it would have taken a lot longer to figure out how to like get in that zen state where you're like, you're just like, yeah, puppy, woo! I forgot that you had a puppy. Oh my god, he's so cute. I've never seen him. How
cute. What?
But yeah, Guitar Hero is my main game that keeps my brain focused. And also, I guess, Halo Infinite a little bit, because that's like the one like FPS game that I'm like really like I can actually do really good with it and stuff.
We call him Raz.
He's a cutie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jake, what you missed is me saying how much Guitar Hero is awesome and Halo Infinite.
Gypsy, what keeps your brain active? What keeps your talents sharp?
I would say
the water is up to pretty much the top.
My two things I would say
kind
are
almost.
Games like Phasmophobia, where you are needing to use your ability of deduction to get the answer. Because it's
Karma,
always
I'll get to your question here in a second. I'm gonna bring it up in the conversation.
Make sure you're right
if you want.
Forewarned is also
Sauce, I hate you.
It's similar.
I hate you.
Anyways, it's trickier because sometimes.
If you want me to bring it up, Karma, I'll bring it up in the chat or in the conversation.
Also, much like your previous answer, MMOs. The going through the dungeons and knowing the mechanics and getting up to the higher, extreme content and knowing those mechanics keeps you sharp. It keeps your hand-eye coordination going.
Do you do the endgame content? The the what I would call the no life content. You know, the highest tier raid and.
I don't do savages yet, but I do the raids. Yes, because my static
that was some easy
didn't
shit.
happen, but I do everything just below that static.
Do you
normal raids?
Do PvP any?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't like it in Final Fantasy. I don't like PvP in that game. I kind of like it in things like Star Wars better. I miss old Star Wars. I miss old SWTOR PvP. That was my jam. I would put on some EBM or some industrial and just go at it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the old school was the best. Fucking. What was that spec? Advanced prototype bounty hunter. That's my shit. You go one shot a motherfucker. It don't matter.
That sounds awesome. Nothing more satisfying than one-shotting. That's why quickscoping is amazing.
Pull him with the grapple hook, hit him with the 1-2, move on to the next dude.
That was literally Halo Infinite campaign, bro. The grapple hook was the single greatest thing that was ever invented in Halo, and I stand by that. The grapple hook is so good.
We're sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
We're going to be sponsored by G Fuel, maybe sometime in the future. That'd be awesome.
Would it be sick if you saw like an Impulse Squared video out in like about a year from now? Impulse Squared video comes out. It was like sponsored by G Fuel. Not
dude.
It's gonna be Raid Shadow Legends, man.
I'm okay with either, bro. I'm okay with that. I'll if the sponsor comes to me, I'll take it, bro.
Gypsy, did I tell you one of the times I booted up Streamlabs, the software I used to stream and all that? There was an offer at the top of it to where they said, "Oh, we're willing to sponsor your stream. We'll pay you if you get 10 people to play it." And I'm just like, no.
But monies.
Play it. I won't touch it. You can't make
Same.
What if you just say that you got 10
I'm not
people
about to play it after the podcast.
No.
This
I would never be able to
buy G Fuel's Raid Shadow Legends. For G Fuel recently purchased Raid Shadow Legends and is now. No, I'm kidding.
G Fuel would be easy, and you want to know why?
No.
Because I have fucking the space heaters in. Here, actually, hold up. Cord, get out of here.
Bill 2.0. No, but your answer for Phasmophobia is pretty good.
The many things of G Fuel that I have over here.
Deducing behavior to nail down what you're after.
It's an active product in my life.
I've been playing a lot of Phasmophobia this last week, and I've done a few solo games. I plan to do more solo games, or hey, if y'all want to come along, you feel free.
We make a good team.
As long as I don't get murked, which I did. I don't think there was a single time I lived the last time I played.
I want to do a few rounds with Kayla where she and I plan to do sort of like Oracle solo setup where I just keep her in the van and then she brings equipment to the front door that I need, or she'll update me on my status for my sanity or activity or something like that, or she could watch through the cameras for me while I'm in there fucking around with the ghosts, listen to responses, and once we have it down, I come back out and whatever. I also want to do this idea of like a challenge, like a closed door challenge where I have to close the front door and I cannot leave till I finish the ghost and maybe the bonus objectives as well. I haven't decided yet.
Oh,
but
that'd be intense.
That'd be awesome. I would love.
I'd happily sit on the van for you.
I've had several volunteers. I'd like you. You have a good voice. I'd like Kayla. I would like not Phil. I don't think I trust him.
He'd mess with you.
I know. Jaden,
make sure you die.
I would never. I wouldn't want to. I like being in the action.
I was about to say I was gonna put Jaden in the house, put me in the van.
Yeah, I'm like the test dummy guy. It's like I'll go in and I'm like the food for the ghost. I get eaten and then the tasks get done by Jake.
So is Phil. Phil very often just offers himself up. Don't know why. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Goodness.
But something to keep my brain sharp is I like being in the realm of either in the realm of team leadership or in the realm of debate. Particularly when things get heated, I like to be the voice of reason. Be like, okay, calm down. There's a way we can have civil discourse. We don't need to get at each other's throats. We can be friends and disagree. let's talk this out, hash this out. Why don't you start us off? You know, all that good stuff. So I like immerse myself in situations where I need to be either the team leader or I need to sort of mediate between two people or to calm someone down if they're having a go at me or something like that. I'd like to try to return them to a realm of reason or something like that. So I'll play MMOs, I'll organize groups for things, or I'll play Call of Duty, and if someone gets heated at me, I'll be like, hey, let's calm down, let's try to get this done. I'm sorry you're not having a good day, all that good stuff. As opposed to the other times where, like, the other like 20% of the time where I'm just like, wow, he's coming at me. I'm gonna get back at this dude. You know, I'm just. I flip flop.
I have, flip flop. No, I have a question from one of my viewers, and this is more for you guys, and they ask, is there any advice for chronic sad people? And then also on top of that, she asks, like, have there been things where like they've worked in the past, but then eventually like it doesn't work anymore and it feels burnt out? And then on top of that, I know there's a lot of information from this. I'm sorry that on top of that, she says the context, they suck at making friends and have bad experiences with it because they are a pushover.
I can take that. So one thing with chronically sad and things like that, I don't know if they're looking for which form of answer they're going to give, so I'm going to give several.
Okay.
One, go and see a doctor and have some lab work done. Things like vitamin D deficiency can affect your moods. It can cause depression. So it could be something as simple as taking a vitamin D supplement, but you want to make sure you're consulting with a professional first. You also want to check on mental health. I, as someone with ADHD, often deal with drops when something that has encouraged dopamine ceases to encourage that dopamine, and then I have to search a new high. Well, high. It's a chemical release in the brain versus like a substance dependency. So you may want to see if something like that is going on. That can also affect like making friends and stuff, because when you're in those state of minds, if you feel that sad or that lonely, it's very easy to want to be very people pleasing because you are looking to be accepted, and
I can handle that. I can handle
things
that.
like that. Yeah. So you might, give a little bit more than you're used to because you were trying to be accepted. And also, tying into dopamine again, those new forming friendships make all those brain chemicals pop off. So that can also be something that happens there. There's really no one answer for how to deal with being sad and things like that, but those are definitely things to look into. Yeah, because like, dopamine or serotonin deficiencies can definitely do things like that. And if it's chronic, you do kind of want to look into that. Mental health and physical health are big things that can affect that. There's usually, a lot of the time, there's a reason you can find why you're feeling like that. And there's usually an answer.
Yep. There's like Gypsy said earlier, 20 minutes ago, there's always an answer. There's always an answer for every problem. I actually forgotten that lesson. Thank you for reminding me, Gypsy. But absolutely, number one thing is consult professionals. There are people within those fields of specialization for a reason, and they've been fields of study for decades, if not hundreds of years now, for a very good reason. It's because we're learning new things, and those new things that we are learning actually work. So far as being a pushover goes, there are several lectures done by analytical behaviorists and social psychologists on YouTube that can help you discover your more assertive self. Assertiveness training is also something you might want to look into. Also from specialists or experts, but for that you want to look into a behavioral psychologist for your assertiveness training, so that you're not so much a pushover. Another thing to look into would be into the study of principles versus values. Find what's important to you, so that way you don't end up compromising what is important to you. That will help you found some sort of basis with which you can use to be less of a pushover. As far as making friends goes, it's difficult to say because, well, number one, I don't know what kind of person you are. I don't know what sort of clique you would mesh with. But something to help make friends with is to find a point of commonality. Outside of the workplace or something, it's hard to find friends at the workplace. Oftentimes the commonality is, well, you both happen to work at the one place, so that friendship is fragile because eventually you got to leave a job. So I would find friends via a hobby, and then find something about that hobby to bond with them over, to create a strong foundation for that friendship that will stand the test of time. Another thing about that principles and values thing is that you can also discover something that is important to you, and perhaps one day you'll come across someone who shares those same commonalities or those same values, and you can found a friendship there, and that's how you build the stronger forms of friendships, those companionships that transcend friendship, and really that sort of compatriotism is very beneficial to one's mental health, or can be. For example, the Impulse Squared founder Philip, my buddy Phil, and I've been friends for 16 years. And one of the things that helps us, transcend friendship and into this almost brotherhood that he and I share is because we share the same values. So finding your own values and then having that in common with someone can definitely help you create a lasting relationship with someone. And will sort of help to dissuade a feeling of loneliness that you experience.
I wanted to add one thing.
Yes.
And it's a very simple answer, and I know it sounds very simple, but also...
Here? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't.
Jake.
I'll kick you off your own podcast. One very simple thing that can help, and it sounds really, really simple, and I'm sure lots of people say it, but I really mean it helps. If you can, if I know this can be kind of an ableist suggestion, so please don't take it that way, but if you can get outside and get moving, I'm not gonna say walking because you don't have, not everybody can walk. There are lots of disabilities, but getting outside, getting that vitamin K, and even if you're just able to move like your arms or your legs or anything like that, that's possible. The movement of oxygen in your blood system can help too.
Yes, being outside helps so much. We as human beings, we are not accustomed to being indoors, and there are real psychological effects that can happen to someone if they spend not too much time indoors. I'm not saying you spend too much time indoors, but what I'm saying is it can help to be outside. Simply because we're wired to be that. Everything on Earth is wired to be that way. No one's meant to be indoors. Come on, houses aren't here. Well, I mean they are, but you know what I mean.
We're essentially complicated houseplants. We need to be hydrated, and we need our sunlight. And those
sunny days, good.
As hippie as that sounds, it's actually true. We are complicated houseplants.
Even if you can just hang out on your porch or outside your building or wherever you're at, sunlight helps. It sounds very cheesy, like you said, but really, it does. I always fight it because, hi, I'm a pale queen.
I work graveyard.
It helps.
I'm accustomed to graveyard shift. My next job is going to be graveyard shift too, so I mean, I'm there.
Hopefully that helped. I know that was a little bit off our beaten path. If people have questions, we're always happy to help, because, in the end, this is out there for you guys as much as it is for us. So.
Yep.
Exactly. she said that she's really thankful for what you guys for what you guys said and all that. So yeah, it's I hope that not only does it help you, I hope it also helps anyone else that's watching this currently from either of the streams or in the future on like a VOD or on one of our YouTube channels or and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully some of you guys can take away from what these two marvelous people just said.
There's one thing I wanted to say.
Good joint effort, Gypsy. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it's gonna sound silly, but I'm gonna say this anyway because it was said to me, it really helped change me from resistance about getting help, is that look at things like going to your doctor and mental health and the little the little advices, not like you're broken and you're trying to be fixed, but that you are gaining tools and with which to enrich your life and the quality of your life and experience.
Exactly.
Because everybody's different. Our brain chemistry is different. It doesn't mean we're broken. We just sometimes need a few extra tools in our toolbox.
If she's a gamer, take it like this. Sometimes we need healers.
Yeah, add to your inventory.
Even the tankiest of tanks need a heal every so often. We're people. We're human beings. We are social creatures. We are pack hunters by nature. We rely on each other. The help is there. People, by and large, are compassionate and are willing to help in whatever way they can. So get help while it's there to enable yourself to help someone in the future.
Yeah.
Just to come to your nature. That's it.
Wise words from wise people. These two know what they're talking about.
I am. My wife said. No, it wasn't my wife that said this. One of my best friends that said, "Jake, you're really fucking smart. You are not wise." I think I am not wise. No, I am 31 years old. Wisdom is not me. But I do want to take part in this little bit of a social experiment, an open discussion. But I think we've already had this with the philosophy thing because I didn't exactly conduct us taking turns. In fact, a little mini apology here for taking up a lot of the philosophy discussion. I've just been thinking so much on it lately. It has to get out. That's my cat at the door. If anyone heard that thump.
Wait, what?
Xander, my cat likes to throw himself against the door when he wants it. He doesn't.
I require attention.
He doesn't gently paw and meow at the door. He throws himself up against it.
I require your presence.
Open discussion. Topic: controllers versus keyboards. The showdown.
Oh,
showdown this Sunday. See controller take on keyboard in the next WWE. The 47th year. Tough voice.
One controller. One keyboard and one mouse to a win.
Match. Oiled up muscly men entangled with one another.
One controller. 2 men enter. One leaves.
2 enter. 1 leaves.
Oh my god.
It just do that like bye. I'm gone. I don't know. I like both. Depends on the game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games I'm like, I can't do this on controller.
This is where Jaden's viewer that just asked us that stuff just says, I'm not listening to these freaking psychopaths. I'm out.
You know, I play, it really depends on the game. Like there's some games you won't see me playing keyboard and mouse. I need a controller. Yep. And then there's ones where it's like, I can't do this on keyboard. Food that. Like, I don't know how people play MMOs like Final Fantasy with controllers. I would go insane.
Well, a game that's, by the way, Gypsy, at some point I do want to play Guild Wars 2 with you so that you can play that game properly instead of just having a boosted character thrown into the crucible of PvP and just to get hammered.
Getting dragged around, getting
Phil has absolutely not treated you kindly on that game.
I big brained that.
So I want to
Thank you, Karma. Thank you for reminding me full screen exists. Thank you.
So without further ado, let's show them the light. Let a chorus of angels sing. Gypsy, is that like him?
Yeah.
Never mind. I was gonna do the whole like I'm coming down like from the heavens and like there you go.
Oh, okay. I was like, what am I singing? Like,
just give me
a chord.
Give me something.
I just seen you do a weird pose and I was like, oh, copy.
Gypsy, harmonize with me. Ah!
It's frantic
You weren't even in
screaming.
key.
Ah!
What key was that? Jesus.
I didn't expect that. That was like perfect. The grab and the mix with the fucking scream was too good, man. Jesus
Thank you.
Christ. That sounded like a genuine, like, panic. Ah, come on.
Can somebody clip that, please? I want to see that back.
Yes, somebody do that.
Right. So controller versus keyboard. I love controllers. I prefer controllers actually. A game like Guild Wars 2, MMO, but I can see it being playable with a controller. You got like 10 skills to your toolbar. That's it. You can put that on a controller. You can map that out. It just won't be too hard. And it's more action than it is strategy. So I mean, like, why not with the controller? I would love to play with the controller. I don't know how to set it up. I'm too dumb.
Lots of button
But I
combinations.
also
Have
play-
YouTube.
But I also, true, I might look into that. I also play a lot of.
Huh?
I love you, Jakey Wakey.
Hearts can't fix this. I hate you, Mom.
Go to your room.
No. Right. So I love playing controller because I could just like I don't know if pardon my mess right now, but I just love sitting on my desk. Right. I'll just fucking kick way the fuck back. I'll just be like, yep, just way back here. Play the controller. Hold on.
I could see. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I
I
like
speed
it.
up everything. It is
Wait,
the
what
best
kind of-
setup ever.
What kind of
Just like if I
controller
were
is
to
that?
play, like
Just a Logitech.
if I were gonna play
Oh,
like
yeah.
Mirror's Edge or Burnout Paradise or something, like my
Oh,
old
yeah.
school console games, I would have to have a controller because my brain would be like, "What are you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more fun on like Cyberpunk if I play it with a controller.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's certain games that while they're on PC have the console feel to where, like, when I just got Assassin's Creed Valhalla because it's like $20 at Ubisoft right now.
They have them for 20.
Yeah,
Wow, that's not good.
it's on sale for like
That's a bad sign.
21, and then you get like a coupon for the next certain amount of days or hours that takes 50% off, and it makes it down like $19 and some odd cents.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna play that on controller, probably.
Yeah, I just prefer controller. It just feels more relaxing. It's so simple. I could just take a load off. I play Soul Calibur as well for
Oh
those
yeah,
that
that's
don't know.
definitely a controller game.
Oh yeah, so I play that with controller. I just sit back and I look relaxed. Of course, I'm furious and angry. It's a fighting game. I mean, come on, it's super competitive. I play ranked,
I mean,
but
you're an angry chihuahua.
my back feels good. And
Get fucked. Get fucked.
hey, Gypsy, remember me wanting to play video games with you and all that?
Yeah.
I'm taking it all back.
Oh. Okay, Jaden, you'll play video games with me, right?
Yes. Jake, I replace you. I am Jake 2.0.
Less angry chihuahua.
Oh, I would love to. I still want to see some Jade and Gypsy content.
That'd
That
be
would
great.
be amazing.
Yeah, we gotta
I think
figure out
at
a
some
game.
point we both just end up like freaking
Phasmophobia.
out and flailing.
Fast.
Phasmophobia.
God.
Oh my god, dude. That's gonna be the game that gets Gypsy to like yell at me. Because I'm gonna be sitting there like, oh my god, this cup is looking like so much cup right now. And then the ghost is gonna be like chasing after her or something like that. Some crazy
Jade's in the
shit's gonna be going
background.
down.
Ooh.
Yo, look what I found! It's a crowbar!
I can't
Look
do
at how
it with
cool
this
this fucking
Yeah, like Scooby Doo style
crowbar is.
going outdoors. You didn't even go in.
He was the smudge sticky bastard.
Oh my god, I did that so many times, bro.
Or I suddenly dead. Did you be like, Jaden? Did you use tarot cards? Did you fuck with the Ouija board? Did you say goodbye to the ghost?
I told it to go fuck itself.
Technically, that's a
You just scared the
party
sound of
thing.
my headset flying. That was the moment he realized he fucked up.
Yep. Just Gypsy running with the ghost. Jade, world not good right now.
Ghost man, roll back.
For me, I would say not controller is not number one. Keyboard and mouse is not number one.
Guitar Hero controller?
VR is
Whoa.
number one.
A new challenger enters the ring.
Also, Guitar Hero controller is a good one. That's a good one. I actually use a Guitar Hero controller on my PC more than I use my fucking the Xbox One. But
I'm not ignoring him. I can't ignore what I don't hear.
You good, Jake? You good?
I just got a white
It's a
bag.
puppy. Wait, is that a different puppy?
That's a tail. That's a Xander.
That's a Xander.
I
Oh,
know
that's a
that tail
Xander.
tip.
Right,
I know
right.
that floof.
I forgot.
I know that floof anyway.
You're right.
You gonna show me
Small
my
brand.
bro? Show me my bro.
Huh?
What up?
Yo, you bitch.
What?
What just happened?
I love you. Demonstrates. What?
What was that?
You called me a bitch?
Yes.
Cool.
Accurate.
Everyone agrees with you.
Okay.
Fine,
But
boys.
I
Sorry.
grew up as a console player, right? And I think that keyboard and mouse is better. I like keyboard and mouse more than anything, and I have committed the 3 sins of keyboard or of controller playing. I play GTA 5 on keyboard and mouse. I play the OG Halos on keyboard and mouse, and I play the forbidden game Elden Ring on keyboard and mouse. I am the only person to existence that I'm the only person that I know of that actually plays keyboard and mouse on Elden Ring, and that's because Elden Ring is set up in a way where everything is like it's anti keyboard and mouse. It's like everything, like all the tutorials are like controller based, and like all of the things they're all like based around controller. And I was like, fuck it, I'm different. I have 12 buttons on the side of my mouse and I'm gonna fucking use them. And I use keyboard and mouse. Stop mimicking me, you fucker. Okay. But keyboard and mouse, in my opinion, if I'm playing on my PC, it just feels, I just don't want to deal with the controller and having to plug it into like I don't have a single like charger that's decent for this controller to stay like plugged in the entire time while I'm
like a
on.
you problem. Why don't you just get a docking station?
Because I have a keyboard and mouse. I might as well use it.
Okay. Although
Like,
I got the
don't know,
best answer that none of you brought up.
Fair.
DDR gamepad.
Fair.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
the
something
DJ
real
Hero, the scratching disc.
No.
That'd be pretty good.
I miss DDR.
All right. So, next topic. The
Keyboard wins.
right.
Okay, yeah.
Controller
I'm down.
focus.
Hold on. No, Jaden, about how much time do you got left?
I don't know how long they're gonna be at the skate park for, but I can go on for it's chilling. Just we'll go on for as long as we can.
Okay. So
I'll ask.
in gaming news a little bit. This was a while ago though, but we haven't talked about this in depth. The World Health Organization, WHO, has listed gaming disorder in the 11th revision of its International Statistical Classification of Diseases as an addiction, or something one can possibly be addicted to. What do we think about this? Gypsy, I feel like your answer might be the most interesting. Start us off.
Well, normally I think I would kind of like possibly roll my eyes at it, but there have been so many instances where it can be a valid issue of like people, gaming to the point of their own demise or hyper focusing on games to the point of neglecting their children, that there's something to be said for it being considered a disorder, because it is kind of a unique stimuli that we haven't quite encountered something similar to before.
Oh yeah, gaming didn't really hit the home until the early 80s, and that's around about 40 years ago. We haven't we have maybe 2 generations of exposure to it tops. So
And I think MMOs really did hit it hard too, because it went from limited game X amount of hours for completion to unlimited game, unlimited content, available theoretically 24/7 ignoring maintenance, personal contact, it provided so much that you literally could be engaged 24/7.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I would say that there are rather enough people out there to reinforce the idea that there could be at least a subset of human population that are
Sauce, I forgot to show you the mouse. Here, I'll put it up again.
Gaming too much. Yes,
Hey,
Raz. Little puppy.
This the mouse, Sauced. Okay, sorry.
Bro, we moved from that topic.
Yeah, I know. He wanted. One of my viewers said, "Let me see that mouse." And
okay,
yeah.
all right, acceptable. It's part of your stream.
Yeah.
It's a mouse with the numpad on it. That's what it is.
Mama
Crazy.
It's. I wonder what the professionals would say about like professionals, as if there could be about on this particular topic yet. But I wonder if anyone has a good idea as to exactly what is the threshold of gaming to where it's too much, right? Mm-hmm. Is there like an allocation of time rather than a symptoms of one livelihoods that can determine what is or isn't a healthy amount of time, and also, well, how much of that time is gaming, and how do you differentiate that from screen time? Does screen time contribute to that? Is it a screen time thing? Like, how much crossover is there, if any, of screen time versus game time versus time living, if you will?
I would say when it starts becoming an actual detriment to your physical and mental health.
Well, right. Yeah, no, exactly that. But like, is there a way to determine objectively how many hours of screen time versus game time versus off-screen time would be a recommended amount for healthy gaming or healthy screen time?
Well, I don't know if hours. I don't know if you quite go by hours, because when you get into the physical detriment of things, you're going to start looking at things like metabolism, pre-existing conditions, et cetera, and so on. I think a better marker is at what point things like malnourishment and dehydration begin to take place, mental fatigue. They say you shouldn't stay over. The longest you should mentally stay awake for your mental health is 72 hours. After that, you start to go buggy. I've done that, by the way. I was a teenager. I did the whole 72 hours staying up thing. I've done longer than that from insomnia, but
oh yeah, I've had to do it for work once. It sucked. But go on.
I was gonna say, I think the marker is going to be, because there are certain factors that are individually impactful, such as like I said, previous conditions and things like that. Markers of things like physical standard and mental standard would be better markers for that. At what point does this person begin to experience extreme dehydration, or extreme sugars, or malnutrition?
Yeah, like
things like that. Like because people need, they say you need X amount of water, but like people can kind of fluctuate depending.
I'm a small man, for example. I don't exactly need that much water. Or someone like my stepdad would need a hell of a lot more. He's a big man. Let me tell you.
Or somebody like me with diabetes, which I tend to need more water.
Yeah.
Less sugar. And I think there's a point when you begin extreme personal neglect is when that would be a marker of that disorder.
Right.
When you can no longer regulate yourself.
Meanwhile, in my head, I'm just like, I have not got to play video games tonight. I gotta do something. Stop saying these things, Gypsy.
Yeah. I think when you begin to lose, when you perform extreme personal neglect and begin to lose touch with your surroundings in a way that actually is detrimental.
To where you end up almost disconnected from reality. Yeah.
Because then it aligns with an addiction.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's the same exact behaviors that you would use to gauge an addiction to a substance.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose you could classify that as a sort of not sure if I have the term for it, some sort of interactive stimuli
No.
rather than a substance-induced stimuli.
Mm-hmm. It's a dependence where you're seeking for that thing to replace something that you were not getting. Usually in a usually tied to mental effects.
Right.
Again, we look at things like dopamine and serotonin chasing. Those are things those tie into addictions as well, because you are looking for something to replace a deficiency within yourself, which is usually biological or mental.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't take drugs or alcohol to replace anything that we need physically, such as
That's all mental.
electrolytes or nutrients, but we may use that as a replacement for things we are not getting in our brain chemistry.
Yeah, like some people with depression, they turn to alcohol, for example, or anxiety. They'll take to marijuana or something.
Because it hits those receptors, because those receptors aren't getting them otherwise. And gaming does the exact same thing, especially when it comes to
I wonder what specifically. I haven't done too much reading into it. I wonder what specifically goes on in someone's head that makes them more susceptible to being addicted to gaming. And how much of that is in their head versus how does their lifestyle affect them to where it's in their head or where they feel, because sometimes it's escapism, or sometimes it's a lack of socializing, and the only outlet you have to socialize is in the video game. So there's a number of different factors. So I suppose those pre-existing conditions could be well, they are numerous, of course, goes without saying, but I would like a tier list of, just for curiosity's sake, Oh, I was talking all these big words and whatnot with the philosophy thing. You get me on this topic, and I'm just like, what are words?
How are the words, big?
Jaden,
that's my brain all the time.
Yeah, well,
I don't.
I've seen you read.
Yeah, my reading not good. Reading aloud is probably one of my worst skills ever. I can read fine in my head, but when I'm reading out loud, it's just
I used to be the exact same way. And
yeah, I need to start.
Maybe I just read more, but
I just had to read slower and more intently,
and
then I'm good at doing reading. Huh?
When you're reading out loud, or just in general? Okay.
Because I have to let the words process in my brain before they come out my mouth.
Yeah, sometimes that helps for me a little bit.
You must be some sort of a hyper focus.
Yeah, ADHD.
Yep.
That's why. Back when I was young.
Oh no, you did say that. Shit, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Fuck me.
Back when I was in school, because back then girls were not assigned with ADHD particularly. They assumed I was dyslexic because I had trouble reading after a certain age. Why? You're fine.
I completely forgot you said ADHD, and I was like, the fuck is wrong with me?
I mean, you're right.
I'm a horrible person.
Yeah,
I don't try to be mean. I'm just forgetful and dumb.
I didn't take offense, so I mean, you're okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they used to think it was dyslexic. Oh, yeah, Jaden.
Thoughts? I'm gonna be honest. I got I don't know what the topic is.
Gamer disorder.
The World Health Organization, WHO, has listed gaming disorder in the 11th revision of its international statistical classification of gaming disorder is listed as a disease by the World Health Organization. What are your thoughts, Jaden?
Well, I mean, I guess it would be with gaming, it would have to be on an extreme level to where it becomes an actual what do they mean by disorder? Is it for certain people who go on a certain extent?
Normally people who
just game and that's it.
Yeah, people who that South Park episode with World of Warcraft and
yes. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite fucking episodes of all time.
With the soda, a bunch of
have you seen the cosplay of that?
I have. Where he's walking around with a desk around his waist.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I would say I would say if like gaming as like if that's all you do is game and literally nothing else, you're not really gaining anything out of it and you're just doing it to do it, and I mean, as a kid, it's I would say it's not as bad, but like as
the short term.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for short term. Yeah. Because, like, I used to do that a lot where all I would do is play video games, but that was, like, to block out a lot of the stuff that was happening in real life and just other shit like that, and that's all I really wanted to do. But, like, I would say there would be an issue with gaming is if that's literally all you do, and you're not putting any, like, time into making your life better, you know what I mean? Like, not trying to progress your life in any way. You're just all you think about is the game. You're stuck in the game, and that's it. Like, that's where I think it's an issue, because like when you're sitting in one spot and you're fixating on one specific thing on a screen, it obviously comes with a lot of health issues that tag along with it. So I don't know. I mean, I can't really relate to it too much because for me, I mean, I can't really sit and play a single video game for like a certain amount of time, especially if I don't have other people to do it with me. But yeah, I would say it's an issue. I don't know if, I mean, I guess since they considered it a disorder, it could be a disorder, but I don't know. I don't have enough knowledge on like whether or not I would consider it a disorder, but I would say, yeah, it's definitely bad if that's all you're doing is playing video games and that's all you think about 24/7. Like, fucking eat, breathe, sleep video games. I would say that could be an issue.
I feel called out here. See, when I was growing up a little bit, there was this whole like old school zeitgeist against video games, to where I'm sure Gypsy would remember this. Where it was like, no, not at all. Video games are evil, all that good stuff. You know, they make kids violent and shit. I was, when I was heavy into video games, around about 15-ish or so.
It's the music and the video games. That's the problem.
Yeah.
No,
God,
it's not.
dude.
It's the bullying.
Yeah.
Video games are making people violent, and you know,
It's your school.
if you play, yeah. It's like GTA makes kids want to go to school and do these horrible fuck shits. But yeah, that's so with the World Health Organization classifying gaming disorder, you know, as a disease and all that. I can see why. Don't get me wrong, I can see why. But having grown up like that and grown up in the way that I did, to where, to say the least, I don't sort of trust large organizations. Not to say that they aren't good, not to say that they aren't right. I just have a hard time trusting a few of them. To where a combination of those things, it makes it difficult for me to try and look at that as a legitimate thing, although it does have its merits. So I don't think I have a whole lot to say on the matter. But like, yes, sure, but it's a very tentative yes, sure.
Yeah. I think it only really applies to like extreme cases.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like I wouldn't say like, oh, if you're playing video games on a day-to-day basis, you have gaming disorder. I think that's stupid. Right. But if it's like, I mean, especially like, I'm glad that you can take gaming and turn it into like a job or a career. I would say if you're like doing, like, I would consider that doing something with gaming other than gaming itself. And I feel like if you're playing video games all day every day, but you're also doing something to like improve on your life and or other people's lives while doing that, I feel like that could be considered a good. But you should definitely, like, if you're playing games all the time, you should definitely get like some activity, so like, well, yeah, your body is physically like,
if it's to the point where it's a job, then yeah, at that point, like, limit it to 8 hours a day, maybe 10 tops, and then the rest of your time awake, spend like get some time on a treadmill, or you know, go outside, get some oxygen, touch grass for the love of God.
Sometimes I have to remind myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
At that
I
point,
think there's too much.
yeah.
You can have too much of anything, so
Well,
that
of course.
includes gaming.
Yeah.
But to have a disorder, that would be on an extreme case.
Well, we have reached the tail end of the podcast, to where we have now reached my nonsensical things that I've written down for this week. There's a big grin on Gypsy's face. She's happy with this one.
I forgot what they were again. Shit.
Look at the crew. Look at the chat.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, I like it when it's a surprise. So, it's
So,
okay.
so number four. The key to a man's heart is ? Hard mode. You cannot say food.
Fuck.
That was not my answer. That was my answer. So, can I say that on stream?
I literally have been eating fucking food throughout this entire stream.
I thought he was just gonna stop at fuck. He was like, I've been eating fuck this whole time.
Oh my god. I wouldn't be surprised with the way my words come out.
Private personal relations.
Which reminds me, Jade, I gotta send you DMs at some point.
Okay, bet.
Context.
Wait.
Jake, what did you
They're
just
both
say?
consenting adults.
Yes. She may say that I'm
reminds me, Jade,
13,
that
but I
sounds like a-
definitely am not.
Don't say that when I'm saying this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's not words that I said, it's words that you said, man. You're digging yourself a hole, not me.
To make whole
Don't
people?
call me 13, goddammit. That's the point of this.
Fine, he's Jade's 14. It's a fucking joke for the record. It's a
Yeah,
fuck-
I'm 19.
It's a
I'm
joke.
19.
Everybody is.
I just want to
adults.
put that out into the internet
Yeah,
so
it-
that
She's
It's a
sick.
funny. It's a
Let's see if
funny.
she
Ever
calls
does
on me again.
if ever there's a controversy or, God forbid, a court case, I gotta
There
put
would
it
never
out there.
be.
It's a fucking joke.
Wouldn't there only be a court case if I said something about it and then it would get dismissed right away when I'm like, yeah, I'm actually 19, you know?
I wouldn't even see a courtroom in that case. They would laugh at you and tell you to fuck off. You
No.
bearded fuck.
I've got kisses. The way to my heart is cat.
I may be ginger, but I'm not evil.
The way to Gypsy's heart is cats. Like this one. This little black blob.
I would
Dude.
say
No,
a video
point is,
game
the key
companion.
to a man's heart, Gypsy.
Oh.
Gypsy, I don't believe you are a man.
That's why I said my heart.
Oh.
It's infringing from, being a man.
Where's Xander? He's gone. Okay.
Baby.
An under the desk supporter.
Yes, that works too. Take a moment. Think about it, Jake.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Just don't like it.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I would say,
I'm pretty
bro,
sure
it would be a key to my heart. Something that would be awesome is to have a video game companion. Okay, that would be pretty lit. That'd
I
be
don't know
pretty
what
lit. Like someone to play game, like a chick that would like to play games and shit. You know.
That's the way to your heart.
Gypsy, you want to play games with Jaden?
That's like I'm talking about.
I'm
Nobody
trying
talked
to
about a
prove him,
relationship. You just said someone to play
That-
games with. That's all you said.
Oh,
Hi.
that's okay. If I had a relationship with somebody, another female, I would want them to also be enjoying to play games.
I love making Jaden feel uncomfortable. It is my favorite thing ever.
Topic
Dude, my
5.
body
Topic five.
temperature is like.
Okay, so here's one. I love this one. Phil as a monkey would be beneficial to children around the world.
I feel like that's
What?
not true
Why
because
are
aggressive
we
monkeys are
turning my
not.
partner into a monkey.
Phil is not aggressive. No, if he is
What?
relatively passive. He's a passive boy.
I mean, when not in performative mode, sure.
Yes.
No.
I don't know when he and I talk or whatever. He's not.
The viewers of this podcast won't believe that,
I
All
won't
they-
believe that.
Someone needs to make a note of all the shit I've talked on Phil since he's been unable to
Yeah.
feature on content.
Yeah.
Of all the shit I've talked, and then one by one we go over that.
Oh my.
Are you leaving? Okay.
I mean every
Yeah.
single word. Fuck no.
She's
kidding.
just gonna chill in the back of
Go
the.
as well. But yeah, Phil as a monkey would be beneficial to children around the world. I think
I would
so.
like
The
you to
children
answer
would be
that.
entertained. Yeah, sure. We could actually monetize that and use that money to fund charities, like children's educational funds.
No, okay. I see.
Phil as a monkey. Phil is a monkey. How's that? Double down.
I have
At
one
least
of
he
those
has a-
boot monkeys somewhere on here that makes that ring sound.
Do you have one of those chimpanzees that with the symbols? Nice.
No.
Oh my god,
No,
symbol
no, I have the
monkey.
boot monkey where like you stretch it apart and sling it across the room and it goes
I missed all that. Sorry.
It's great. Anyway,
Nice.
next.
Welcome to Noshami Squared, where beer fucks metal.
Where beer fucks
Wow.
That's just you.
Awesome.
It's
Gypsy, any thoughts?
like tag team.
Hardcore.
Wait a second, Jaden. What?
They tag team each other like beer metal. They good, yeah. Why do you have to take that out of context? It's not even that bad. What the fuck?
It's fine.
Gypsy, I like your answer. Thank you. Oh yeah, I had written all as one word. LOL, what is life but pain?
What
I
is
have-
life other
What
than
is that?
pain?
Yes. My answer is yes.
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt
Don't
me.
hurt me
No more.
no more.
Okay.
Dude. Okay, come on. What?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Jake, I
like,
thought you would like.
come on,
No.
Roxbury.
You're a fucking buzzkill, Jake. Get out of here, brother. I'm the leader of the
I'm the
podcast now.
buzzkill?
What do you mean?
Roxbury. Yeah.
That's a good.
9 times out of 10, I come up with an idea. Everyone else is gonna be like, Jake, no, don't do that. And I'll be like, fucking buzzkills. Why am I the buzzkill?
You didn't Roxbury.
Whatever.
Everyone has to, man. And you didn't.
Oh, end of podcast question. This will be a fun one.
Oh, God.
Pre-gaming rituals. Now, not pre-gaming as in drinking before the end of the party for football, but what drinks or snacks do we grab? How do we set up our gaming environment, etc., etc.? What do we do to prepare ourselves to get into our Zen state of mind?
I make sure the cats are fed. I get my coffee or my water. I generally kick cats out of my chair and get settled in. Why are you mean mugging my
Okay.
answer? Why you mean mugging my answer? What?
I'm just gonna let the silence happen.
Yeah, fucking with Gypsy.
Jake, are you
Fuck
okay,
you.
dude?
For once, Gypsy gets beamed on.
For my ritual, it's
Oh, Gypsy, no, please.
lights,
Gypsy,
camera, action. Wait, hold up.
we must become one,
Camera.
Gypsy.
Action. Wait, there we go.
With the Discord.
You're moving back and forth.
I don't
You can't see me and you can't see Jake. Oh my god.
Stop!
I killed Jake.
Gypsy, hold still. Gypsy's actually
Oh.
gone through the temporal loop.
I might have. Wait, camera, are you okay? Oh no.
No.
Uh-oh. Camera, no. It says that it's on, but it's not doing anything. Oh my god, we're here. Okay, I'm back.
That was amazing.
Dude, I
was a moment.
I summoned every
Oh,
Discord
Gypsy, you look
technical
like
issue
the best
ever.
friend. I was gonna be like, once again, Gypsy, we must harmonize. Ah!
I broke it. I broke it once
Do you got
again.
light camera action? Is that
Yeah,
is that
I
it?
usually I get some water. I sometimes get G Fuel depending on the day. I tend to like try my best to not drink G Fuel all the time, and like whenever I don't need to, I usually don't grab it. But if it's gonna be like a long day or whatever, I fill this biddy up, and then I go to town with some G Fuel, and then I also make sure that I have clothes on, because usually the first thing I do when I wake up is sit down at the computer. So forgetting that crucial step would be kind of bad.
Oh yeah, do you log onto your socials and you're like, I wonder if I went viral in my sleep.
Yeah. I actually
Every morning.
And then it's like, oh no, I didn't. Damn it. But nah, yeah, I usually, other than grabbing like liquids or whatever, I just turn on my lights and then get going.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I'll just get a cup of coffee, make sure my vape is charged and filled up, and what else do I do? That's it. I mean, I also
Okay.
like do the dishes, a few chores, so that way, you know, when my wife gets up, I wake up before her normally. You know, she'll wake up to, you know, nice, clean, ready kitchen, or make breakfast and make sure everything's
Happy house, happy spouse. Sorry,
So-
happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah, something
Woo.
like that. So that way I don't feel like a bum, and then just I go hard all day. I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
Mm.
Why must
No.
podcast stop when I stop? It's an open discussion. Y'all can
We
talk.
talked about ours. It was yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that's all. I finished.
Next topic.
No, it's over.
Okay.
No, it's
Wait.
not. Gypsy,
No, it's not.
Humble Bundle, support Ukraine.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to put a link in the chat. This link is the Humble Bundle. Right now, they have a thing going on, a charity, raising funds for the people of the Ukraine. You can 100% of the donations go to the Ukraine humanitarian relief efforts. What you do is you get to kind of name your price, but as long as you do at least $40, you get 123 products. A lot of these are games, such as titles like Back for Blood, Satisfactory, Fable Anniversary, one of my favorites. There's also things for gaming like Pathfinder, Starfinder, and other fantasy roleplay books. And on top of that, if you're not a gamer like that, there are programs like Game Maker, RPG Maker, Polygon game development programs, things for music. So you get a lot of things in this bundle for $40. And 100% of these proceeds, like I said, go to the Ukraine. And right now, and that value actually adds up to about $2,572. So pretty good deal. Right now, I've refreshed the page, and it looks like Stand with Ukraine. The charity has raised $6,965,107. So
Holy
we're raising a lot of money. And some of the charities that they're working with is like Razom for Ukraine, the International Rescue Committee, International Medical Corps, and Direct Relief. On the page I have linked, those are, you can all read about all of those. I got links to the pages, so you can learn a bit more about the charities that are working with this, and you can view all of the very different different games and products you can get with this. Like you can just scroll through. Like there's things like Amnesia in here. Like it's not just like, oh, no name titles. Like you're getting things also that like you're totally gonna know. Like I said, Fable, Amnesia. I could scroll through and find even more than that. And like I said, it's going toward a good cause. So there you go. Links in our chat.
Big shout out to the people of Ukraine. Love the people of Ukraine. They're I've read up on some news stories and what many of them are doing, you know, to stand up for their neighbors and loved ones in their nation. And some of them, many of them, all of them, I don't know why I said some, but all of them are putting on display exactly how brave people can be in the face of a terrible adversity and against a terrible adversary. So big shout out to the people of Ukraine. You get fucking, y'all are killing it. Poor choice of words. Y'all are being awesome in standing up. And to everyone who supports them, thank you so much. It's been incredible. We did a fundraiser about a couple weeks to a week ago for the people of Ukraine, which was fucking awesome. And I'm happy to say that I've taken that link from the chat and went ahead and put it up in our Discord so that people can, if they're missing out on the podcast, if y'all sleeping on it, fucking there you go. You can still support. You don't have to sit through our boring shit. Though I loved today's podcast. I wanted to dive into philosophy for a while with people who aren't my friend Stephen. Nothing against him, but it's nice to be able to talk about that with other people. And I was surprised to learn that Gypsy and I actually have a lot in common when it comes to our perspective on the universe and the functions of time, space, and reality. It's fucking incredible. I never would have seen it coming.
Learn something new every podcast.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, I didn't catch my woo. What the fuck? Come on,
Yeah,
Discord,
you
be
suck.
better.
Haha. You suck.
No,
Jade.
Discord sucks. Discord sucks. It's Discord's fault,
Hey,
not
Jade,
mine.
have you tried getting good? Or
No, but has Discord tried getting good? Didn't think so.
they're never as good as Board to Entertain. So that's it.
Of course.
That's it for the Impulse Spreader podcast. Gypsy, Jaden, thank y'all so much for all of our names begin with the same sound. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
It's just squared. Jwared.
The J cast.
No, Gypsy's 2 J's and a G.
Oh right. Big Brian.
Thank you so much for joining in on today's podcast, and thank you for being patient with me at the beginning when I was getting like really angry at the stream. And to the ethos of the internet and those who did tune in, thank you so much for tagging along. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you found something enlightening. To Jaden's chat, thank you so much for tuning in and enjoying things from Jaden's perspective. It's not as fun because sometimes I'll go to Jaden and I'll just move into a different channel like so.
No.
Don't do it.
Don't.
I'm kidding.
I braced myself. I braced
myself. Hand on the mouse, ready to move back.
I actually moved my mouse into the complete opposite direction that I should have, but you know, I still braced.
I've done that. Like the left side of my screen will turn like red because I'll be being hit from the left, and I'll be like, "Where's that?"
Yeah, no, it's because I have Discord. Like I have like 2 Discords right now. One showing our face, and the other one just like everything else. And I have it closed out. And I went like over our faces instead of on my other monitor, and it's like, big Brian.
Yep. So show some love to the people of Ukraine. To anybody who may or may not be in Ukraine or Ukrainians in the future who may have come across this, you guys are fucking awesome. Yeah. So without further ado, to the ethos of the internet, the rest of cyberspace, and of course to the rest of the world, make sure you stay safe, stay awesome, be kind, and as always,
stay frosty.
Charities, your charities.
Thank you, QA Cat.
I had to do it. I need to pee so fucking bad, Jake. Please stop going in silence.
This will show up on the YouTube channel. So links to charity programs down below, all 9 of them, and they're all vetted by CharityWatch.org, meaning that and they all score a score of 90 or above out of 100, meaning that whenever you make a contribution, over 90 cents to every dollar you contribute will actually go to the support of the people that the charities are purported to support. We have 3 favorites, which include the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Sorry, I got a little Dr. Pepper coming back up.
Nice.
The Voodoo Warriors Project and the Trevor Project. And I love the work that they do. So shout out to those 3. But we've also got some environmental causes if you're concerned for the environment. We also got a few more social causes. So shout out to them as well. Was that it? No. Yes. No. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Now, make sure you stay safe. Stay awesome. Hey, Gypsy, QA Cat, and Uwu, send us off.
Boom! Impulse!
Thank you. Right, and then what's the next thing? End stream. Okay.
Sweet. Now I roll my outro. If you guys enjoyed this content, be sure to check out all the social links in the About section. If you want to pull it up in chat, you can do ! That's social media, and it'll pull up in chat for you. And this, if you're watching on YouTube, if you look down below, you'll see. I've seen that. You'll see a bunch of different links to a bunch of different places, including 10 different charities. And yeah, and then here's Jake over here. No, but 10 different charities that you can support the people that are in need and all that.
Show up my 9. Damn.
Hey, it's 9. The 9 that you have plus the Ukraine one that I added. So
okay.
Yeah. But I'll see you guys in the next one, and be sure Stay
Bro,
frosty.
Impulse.
Also, go check out Impulse Squared on Twitch and YouTube.
Twitch.tv/Impulse Squared, Impulse Squared on YouTube.